Hi, and welcome to today's podcast. My name is Howie, and I'm one of the NfP consultants at m-hance. Today, we are discussing our Haircut for Charity. It is an initiative that was started by our CEO, Alan Moody, and encourages people that would normally go in and have a haircut to have a haircut at home and donate those funds to either a chosen charity or to m-hance, where we have a fund that we would distribute to all our charities that we are also supporting. This is a great initiative and we encourage everyone to get on board. It's our little way of being able to help, especially a lot of the charities, the smaller ones that are feeling it because of cancelled events. Fundraising is a bit low, so if we can get behind it, that'll be great. Without further ado, today I would like to welcome you to one of our charities that's supporting us and is part of this initiative. We've got Hilary for Dogs for Autism. It's a great charity and it's a great cause. Hilary, do you mind just giving us a little bit of a background about your charity?
Yeah, hello, and thanks, guys, to start with for everything you're doing, because it's making a big difference to us. We are a small charity. We've been going for we've been registered for about a year, but a bit longer than a year. We've been going for a bit longer than that. We've got about 25 dogs around the UK. Some of them already placed with families or autistic adults. Some of them still with their trainers, doing that sort of work with the families. We started Dogs for Autism because I have an autistic son, and we found that the charities that provide autism assistance dogs are overwhelmed, literally overwhelmed with applications, and we just didn't fall into the right category. So I kind of had to do it myself, which was fine because I'm a trained animal behaviorist and dog trainer, and I'm also an autism specialist teacher, so I could do that. And it very quickly became obvious that actually this was something that myself and my son could get involved in that could really help other families. And so I stepped away from my teaching job, and now I'm full-time working in Dogs for Autism to it transforms families' lives. Not every family with autism wants a dog, but for those where it works, it makes a massive difference. So yeah, that's what we do.
Well, that's lovely. And I guess during the COVID-19, things have really been affected you. How normally would you fund and get some fundraising funds for your charity?
Gosh, well, I mean, there's an awful lot of ways that we fundraise, like all the charities do. I think for us, particularly in our second year of working, and this, I didn't know this when I set the charity up. But in order to apply for and draw down sort of the larger funds that you need, I mean, we really need about £150,000 a year at the moment just to sort of break even. But to go and draw down larger grants for projects, you need to have 2 years of accounts.
Oh.
So we kind of realised this early on, and put a big strategy together to make sure that we could get lots of little bits together to make that whole. And we've got a whole team of people who help us. So we had fundraising events, loads of them, set up for the rest of the year to get us over that 2-year mark, including someone who's a great friend of ours, very involved in the West End, was putting on a big concert for us a bit later in the year in a large theatre locally with West End soloists coming to sing for us. That was going to be a really big draw for us. That's been cancelled. We were meant to be, we'd been invited to spend a day at Heathrow during National Autism Week. National Autism Week, we had loads of stuff. We had a granny skydiving. We were going to spend the day at Heathrow. We were going to be in schools, doing lots and lots of fundraising. It all stopped. So I mean, so every time we kind of thought, oh well, there's this. Oh no, it's been cancelled. But there's this, and everything for the whole year. All of our plans just suddenly just disappeared overnight, and that was a shocker, really, especially for a small charity who we're really kind of going from sort of month to month at the moment with a clear plan. So yeah, it had a massive impact on us. Like, really, it was a case of, there was a few days where we sort of sat very wide-eyed saying, are we actually going to survive this? And well, we've got to survive this. We've got dogs all over the UK and families. How are we going to do that? So then that planning started. Yeah.
Oh, it's hit a lot of charities we know across the board, and some obviously a bit harder than others. And trying to start out in these circumstances, it is a big hit and a big challenge. So what have you done to kind of combat some of these challenges? I mean, the fundraising events and the community events have been cancelled. How have you adapted and changed?
Well, we've kind of gone online, really.
Yes.
We've used social media a lot. People have been very generous. And then, there was something called the 2.6 challenge that was that came along. I think it might have been Virgin Media who were involved in that instead, because of the London Marathon was cancelled. That's another thing. We had 3 runners in the London Marathon. Like, oh, so we did a big sort of live event about, and we got hundreds of dogs all sitting at the same time. We were trying to get 2,600 dogs. We didn't get 2,600 dogs, but that didn't matter. Do you know what? We made £2,666, and that was amazing, because and we did it quite quickly, but it was an online event, and that's not going to manage to replace what we would have got from the London Marathon, but actually it meant that we could probably kind of limp through for a month. Our trainers have been amazing, amazing. They're professional dog trainers. We pay them to look after our dogs and work with our families, and they've just sort of said, well, do what you can, and we'll be here throughout. So that's so we did that. Gosh, what else have we done? Lots of little fundraisers. On Wednesday, someone up in Preston who does pub quizzes online said, it was a friend of my sister-in-law, said tonight's pub quiz is going to be in aid of Dogs for Autism. And so that brought some money in, and lots of little things. But the big thing is that on the 4th of July, the first weekend in July, we do something called Walk a Golden Mile, where people walk their dog for Dogs for Autism. So anybody who has a dog walks a dog. And so we ask them to actually get involved with us. Sometimes we won't be doing this year, but we get dog walks together. But we might be able to do it socially distancing. And people all over the country walk their dog. They take a selfie with our selfie certificate they can download, saying I walked a golden mile with my dog, and then they pay £5. This year, because we've got a text number, that'll be much easier for people. That's the other thing, we've kind of gone a bit more with technology, like we have text numbers that make it easier for people to donate. And we're trying to just have a really big online presence, really.
Yes.
Yeah, and then, saying to our friends, can you give us some money, please?
Of course, you have to.
The last thing to say, I do beg your pardon, is actually, quite a number of sort of charitable organisations who are grant givers really opened up their doors to small charities over these last couple of weeks. That's kind of like slowing down now, but they made it easier for people to apply for grants, and they changed their criteria so that so actually we did get quite a bit of help just to get ourselves in a position where we thought, you know what, I think we're going to get through this. So yeah, but guys like you as well, people have been cutting hair all over the place. That's made a massive difference.
Oh, that's great to hear, because my next question was going to be about, how has the Haircut for Charity impacted, and, what positive things have you seen from it? So it's good to hear.
Well, I mean, the first positive thing is we're cutting our hair. I'm going to cut my hair this weekend. I'm going to cut it. I don't know whether to do it live. My hair's meant to be really, really short, like a really pixie crop. And I sort of did my corner bit a few weeks ago. Yeah, but I don't know if I might do a Facebook Live event.
Yeah. Why not?
Anyway, I'm going to cut my hair.
Hilary.
But it feels really good. So I cut my son's hair the other day. I've got a little video that I'm going to send you about it. And it it's interesting because for autistic people, haircuts can be a massively challenging thing, and they are for him. But he had his little pug with him, and I've made a little video. I'll send it to you. So that's nice. But I was then able to, even though eventually this might sort of help our charity, I then donated the cost of his haircut to Haircut for Charity.
Oh, fantastic.
And actually there's a real feel-good factor about that. It's really nice. I mean, giving your child a sort of knife and fork haircut that makes it look a bit weird is
So
it's
you're not
quite
going to become a hairdresser anytime soon.
it's quite. I handed him over. So his father and I look after him 50% each. We're divorced, and I sort of handed him over, and I said he's had a haircut, and his dad said it's terrible, and I said it was for a good cause. It was for charity, and then it was okay. You see,
Yeah.
but yeah. So but there is a real actually no. There's a feel good factor about doing that, definitely, and somehow this quite traumatic thing of having to cut your family's hair becomes fun. Yeah. And you're doing something that you know is going to help others and other people, and you know there's a purpose behind it. So yeah, but so also, I mean, we've had a few. We had a girl who had hair almost down to the floor, almost down to the backs of her legs, and she cut her hair through sort of haircut for. We use the great thing about Haircut for Charity is you guys say, look, you can either give the money to us and we'll distribute it, or give your money directly to the
charity of your choice.
And we've done a lot of sort of either of those things. But some people have used Haircut for Charity and then done a Just Giving thing. Yeah. Which has been amazing. So she had her hair cut. I mean, it was. I think you put it on your feed, and it was just incredible. So you know, I think it brings people together, and that it's. But and of course the money makes a difference, because the one thing that we have continued to do and pay our trainers for is to be doing one-to-one sessions with their families online, and
so you're keeping the services going even during COVID-19?
Absolutely. Well, we've got to.
Yeah.
We've got to. I mean, you know, we're working with very vulnerable people who are mentally vulnerable at this time anyway, who thrive on routine and who need things to be the same. And their dogs, for them, whether they already live with them or whether they are still with the trainer, are a massive part of their lives. So we had to keep going. You know, we couldn't suddenly say, oh, by the way, we've no money, so you know. You're not going to see your dog for, well, I don't know when you're going to see your dog. I mean, to an autistic person, that would just be like, really, no, it wouldn't be fair. So, you know, if somebody donates their haircut money for charity, you know, let's take an average. An average haircut will pay for one of those sessions.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, that's fantastic.
And that's really important. An average haircut will pay for a flea and worm treatment for the month for one of our dogs. It will pay for, you know, maybe some toys or some treats and that kind of thing. I mean, we're very lucky. We get our food donated by Oscar Pet Food, so they feed all of our dogs for free. But you know, I mean, so there are costs, or you know, a veterinary treatment, whatever it may be. It might pay for a buster collar that my dog's wearing downstairs, you know, his cone of shame because he's just had to have a little operation. So, you know, every single penny that comes into us, we can take that money and go, do you know what you have just paid for? You know, we're at that stage as a charity.
Yeah, you can show the impact straight away. Yeah.
So, I mean, Haircuts for Charity, and we've loved to be involved with it. It's been a real sort of a really positive thing for us to be involved in, definitely.
Oh, great. That's great to hear. You know, thank you so much, Hilary. Thank you for sharing your time and your experience with us. And we'll keep supporting you. And for anyone that's watching there that wants to get behind the Dogs for Autism, please look at the bottom of the podcast. We'll have all the details there. Feel free to reach out to Hilary directly. Please donate to the charity. You can always choose your own charity, or you can always just put to the fund in m-hance that we'll distribute at the end of each month. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a wonderful day, and thanks a lot again, Hilary.
Thank you, Howie, and thanks to everyone there.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.